With Razer releasing the Razer Moray Gaming IEM in June, I was genuinely surprised and interested in how they would perform. But with an asking price of $130 and my personal dispreference and reluctance towards using IEMs for gaming, I didn't pick one up. It's not because I don't like IEMs or anything. In fact, for music, I personally think that there are many great choices out there. But it's because from the many that I have tried in the past, good IEMs are generally too expensive and the way they are tuned don't sound good for the majority of genre of games that I play. Though that was many years ago, because now there are quite a couple of IEMs that works great for gaming and don't cost a kidney. Take this one for example. These IEMs were sent over to me by Simgot, a well-established hi-fi company claiming that they will sound great for gaming and music. And having tried and not really sold by the Razer Morays, I thought, why not? And to my surprise, I find that they sound slightly better than the Razer Morays. So hit that subscribe button if you're new to this channel, and let me share with you my experience with the Simgot EW200 Maze in today's video. Quickly going over the contents of what's in the box, you'll be getting the IEMs themselves, which are made from this metal alloy material, making them feel durable and a little bit weighty. There's also a detachable silver-plated copper cable with a 3.5mm jack on one end and two 2-pins on the other. The cable is covered with rubber material and measures at approximately 1.2 meters. There's also a manual, small carrying pouch, and 3 sets of silicone ear tips. Though, as the EW200 Maze uses generic ear tips, you can also use them with third-party tips. The overall workmanship is very well done and feels slightly more premium for the price, especially with the metal-y finishing and the laser etchings. But because of the shiny finish, it is also a fingerprint magnet. As for the specifications of the EW200 Maze IEM, I will not go over them in details and will list them out here instead. A few things that's worth pointing out is that the EW200 has particularly low impedance of 16 ohms, so the dual 10mm drivers can easily be powered by almost all devices, including the 20-year-old Game Boy Advance. Though the Game Boy Advance was not the only device that I tried these IEMs with. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been poking the Simgot EW200 into literally any device that has a 3.5mm hole. And from testing with all these devices, I noticed two things. One is that most of the games on the older portable devices had audio that sounded terrible, and that I've never really noticed it until now. I mean, it makes sense because with the storage constraint of the cartridges and all, but yeah, because the audio separation and clarity of these IEMs is so good, it makes low bitrate audio sound terrible. Secondly, I noticed that the audio signature of the EW200 works quite well with a lot of games music that I've tested it with. Simgot's EW200 is tuned to have that generate V-shaped sound signature that many people like. It sounds kinda like the wired earphones that used to come with phones you buy, but with slightly less bass. It also sounds quite similar to the Razer Moray, but I'll get more into the comparison shortly. Now, as for how these IEMs sound, as sound is a very subjective matter, as in what my ears like might not be what you like, I will try my best to describe how the EW200 performs compared to the Razer Moray under both gaming and music and media consumption scenarios. For gaming, both had a similar amount of bass response, but not to the extent that you will be getting from gaming-oriented earbuds like the Razer Hammerheads or JBL Quantum True Wireless earbuds. Gunshots and explosions do not sound as full as boomy as they should, but compared to most professional IEMs, the bass is slightly more present on the EW200s. It's not exactly quite at the level that I like how my in-game rifles and shotguns sound. But it's there. So if you love boomy sounds, then you should consider getting something other than IEMs for gaming. For the mids and trebles, the EW200 and Razer Moray both had good audio separation, and both were able to clearly and accurately reproduce different layers of in-game audio, such as footsteps, gunshots, speech, and background music without everything sounding muddled when there's a lot of sound going on at once. For instance, when I was playing The Last of Us 2 using the EW200s, the spatial audio positioning in terms of distance of the infected is so much better and clearer than when using the Razer Hammerheads. Playing Call of Duty Mobile with these also had good audio positioning in game, though the guns and explosions don't sound as satisfying. But overall, I personally find that using these IEMs for open world, exploration, or action games work quite well, as long as you don't mind the less boomy sounds. Compared to using regular in-ear earbuds, the soundstage and spatial audio positioning of using IEMs with games is slightly wider and more accurate, while also having better clarity. Now, when it comes to music and content consumption, this is where I find the $130 Razer Moray cannot keep up with the Simgot $40 IEM. I personally find that the way the highs and mids and trebles are tuned on the Razer Moray is a bit too honky and not as energetic or as bright as I would like it. I mean, compared to my other $230 IEM from 7Hz that I sometimes use for music listening, the EW200 has a more similar performance compared to the Razer Morays. So if you also plan to listen to music when you're not gaming, then I personally would recommend the Simgot EW200 IEMs. And plus, they're a lot cheaper too. Or, of course, you can also consider checking out some of these other well-received IEMs that I came across during my research as well. Alright, thank you as always for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below and I will try my best to answer all of them. And if you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button as it will help me and this channel a lot more than you know it, and I'll see you again in the next video. Ciao!